Hello guys, and welcome back to Rule the Waves 3 with our Austria Hungary playthrough. It's been a couple episodes now since we got out of war with Italy, and most of each of our surface fleets have been completely upended. I've been rushing to try to get a bunch of new battleships in. However, the pace is so slow due to just the lack of wealth someone like Austria Hungary has, even after taking some from Italy, compared to, say, America, Great Britain even. Germany has quite a bit. And even France has a decent bit more. I was having grandiose plans to make like 10 of these, but that would take so long it would leave the rest of our fleet in the dust. And we still don't really have a modern cruiser force due to our light cruisers being from the designs from like 1912, 1911. That was like 15 years ago. And our battle cruisers being not the greatest either. Having lost a good amount of them as well, we only have 3 remaining, and they're just as old, if not older. So we need to think more of the short-term numbers based on how long this is taking. We still need to order one more of these battleships. We will definitely phase out our pre-dreads, but it looks like these shorter range ones, these shorter range battleships that have 12 inchers, these are here to stay for the time being, despite their smaller stature and lesser capabilities. We're going to be investing into keeping these with a refit rather than anything else. Probably a cheap one too. Definitely still getting rid of all this other crap. And then these battle cruisers, I'm not really sure what's going to happen to those yet. For now though, we're advancing into the next month, making unexpected advances in anti-submarine warfare. ASW capability goes up, 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 up. And that's all we have for tech advancement right there. Our monthly balance starting to go back up, which is nice without actually finishing anything. Only 6 months left until the first Budapest class ship is done. At that point, we could definitely get the 5th and probably final one in production. They will still last quite a while. I think they'll be good to upgrade and carry over. Much better than these will be. These are already just kind of... They're weird. They're more pre-dreadnought than they are dreadnought, but goddamn, they're armored at least. They'll need some kind of refitting to stay relevant, though. I don't know how much that's going to cost. It's all just a matter of also, like, is it worth refitting? Well, for right now, it's not worth the worry. So, into May of 1927, we have a naval visit by France, our ally. Our only ally, because America left us again. Asked to comment on visiting ships. I could lose prestige and tension with them. I could just say, hi, welcome. Or I could insult them and get prestige. I don't want to raise tension with an ally, because then an ally can choose to just leave you. So I'll just be like, happy to have hosted their fine ships and friendly crews. Yep. And 1% weight savings on hulls. Submarines are becoming more effective. 3 and 4 inch twin dual purpose mounts. Oh, that's cool. That expands what I can use for dual purpose mounts quite a bit. Fair. Okay, I'm happy with that. Moving along, funds going up, monthly balance still kind of bleh, but you know, we have these battleships getting there. I really need to be able to order that last one. Yeah, we're gonna have the last one purchased for by the time that battleship is considered old. Damn, I wish I had more money. I can't wait to play a better nation. I'm thinking my next nation might be Germany, because they get pretty high resources. This is the age of their like naval dominance. I mean, look at them, they've passed Great Britain with no wars, for fuck's sake. Only America has more money right now. I think playing Germany next, I think that should be an interesting kind of inverse to what I'm doing right now. This, I thought might happen one day, and here it is. Japan wants a 5-year alliance. If I take it, we lose budget, but we also lose tension. I think I will take it. This nation, as any weak nation, I've learned the benefits of having a ton of allies. I don't care if I lose budget. I just gained budget earlier, and now this is the perfect time to give it back up. There you go. Treaty negotiated with Japan. We lost America, unfortunately, but we've gained it with Japan. Japan is not nearly as advanced or powerful. However, they're powerful enough to make a difference. They're almost as powerful as France is. Japan is building, like, heavy cruisers now. Italy is building heavy cruisers. Really? Really? Everyone's building... Do we all have heavy cruisers now? Where are they? None of them are done, so I can't tell. They're only like 13,000 tons. Pretty small. Probably pretty affordable compared to battle cruisers. I do wonder if I don't think I can make normal heavy cruisers yet. Oh, I can. Oh, I can. Oh, I can. Do we even need more battle cruisers then? Italy's not making more. Japan's not making more. These get outdated. I thought we'd be able to build battle cruisers by the time we got heavy cruisers. So to see that we can make heavy cruisers is quite interesting. Holy crap, I don't think Italy ever lost that unrest that they got during our war, because a coup has taken place and they become fascist. I'm pretty sure that's not historical. I'm pretty sure that was literally because of unrest, because I'm aware the same could happen to me if my unrest gets really high. A spy was discovered from Italy. I could get tension and potentially some budget. This is not how I want to potentially get budget. No, thank you. Advanced Director, AP improvement, double gun mounts on destroyers. Okay. Wow. So Italy's fascist now. That's fun. They're the first fascist country to come about, which I think is historical, if I remember correctly. Their base resources really haven't been going up for a while, which is nice, because it would keep their resources lower than mine. And my navy really has to be built to counter them, just like in real life they built theirs to counter France. So seeing that they're not building battle cruisers and seeing that they're instead building heavy cruisers, and that seems to be what roughly everybody seems to be doing, this might change my plans here. We will have more battleships than them with my current plans, which is good, even if they're a little all over the place, maybe not quite as good. But all around, everywhere else, we'll definitely have to see what we can do to kind of copy them. The alliance between Germany and Japan has expired. I didn't remember that they had an alliance, to be honest. I really didn't remember that. Got data on a Spanish torpedo bomber, weight savings on hull, new naval prototype, patrol aircraft prototypes are available for evaluation. Worse speed, worse range, better toughness and maneuverability. This is not what I want out of a naval, but I've prioritized range, you motherfuckers, so no. Tension with Italy reduced to the recent war. America reduced, Spain reduced. Okay. Tension's going down is how I like it. Let's request a naval patrol aircraft again. Range and just speed. There you go. Give me that again. Maybe I just go all range. I should just start doing that as my priority. Damn! Good reliability on the torpedo bomber. Everything else is poor reliability. That's so sad. Well, it's good that our torpedo bomber is pretty reliable anyway. It is still one of the only planes we use. This less budget is kind of hurting. I need to take the next budget increase that I get a chance to get if it's not too harmful. Germany and Japan, have re-signed an alliance. Well, that means if Japan joins me in a war, Germany might as well, so that's cool. A destroyer division captain is implicated in a scandal, a lot of champagne, and an admiral's daughter. Have him cashiered, I get prestige. I don't really care about giving up some guy. Unless he's brilliant, then I don't really care. We're close to getting torpedo protection 3. That's hot. We're going to go into this next turn with not enough income, but I'm still going to do it because we're about to finish our first of these new battleships. What is this, a light cruiser? Yeah, just give him an average commander. It'll bring us into the red. Yeah, thanks for showing me the math, bro. I'm fine with that. Private shipbuilding, expanding dock size, good, because again, I haven't been doing it. And, this new line of battleship surpasses its design speed. Who do I see as an enemy in a future war? It is without a doubt Italy. It is without a doubt Italy. I don't see a risk of any war in the future. Lose budget, prestige, and tension. Be prepared to fight against any opponent. It is without a doubt Italy. I could pick on Italy a little bit. Their navy's recovering just like mine. I need the budget again. Yeah. Okay, fuck it. Let's piss them off. Hopefully that's not too bad. Ooh, diesel engines. Is that good? I really don't actually know how good a diesel engine would be. That wasn't a lot of tension. That's fine. That ship is built. We have positive funds. We cannot afford fully the creation of another one just yet, but we will get that. So this surpasses its design speed. That's good. That will give this a little bit more longevity because the speed won't fall off as much. Moving into the next year, we got data on an Italian torpedo bomber. And we get torpedo protection 3 available on ships. Good to know. Good to see. All right. A lot of intel on Italy, in fact. We see they're running a pretty negative budget balance. And I mean, shit, dude. They just had a fucking revolution. Their unrest hit max. They're fascist. I don't know what the government types do. But wait, that's in the manual. I guess it just influences their policies, reading about it, and certain traits. Traits that Italy doesn't have anyway, so. We got blueprints on a Japanese carrier. I'm definitely not making carriers right now. It's got some AA, some 6-inch guns, some 4-inch dual purpose, 10 of those. Barely any armor, 52 aircraft. I mean, these are great, right? It's just the fact that I plan on fighting all of my wars in the Mediterranean, where the land is my aircraft carrier, and my money is not great. And in fact, Japan's money is not great either. It's below mine at this point. So I don't really fully understand why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, what do they have? Base resources 26,354. It's close to ours. It's ahead of Italy, who has finally started gaining more base resources. They have almost 10 battleships. They have no more pre-dreadnoughts, I'm sure. They have a light carrier building. They have a carrier built, another carrier coming. 7 BCs, but they're not making more. They're going into heavy cruisers. I mean, not going into battle cruisers is certainly a good way to save money for carriers, but, you know, like me, I feel like just we have enough land close to everything for our battle zone. We are very Mediterranean focused in this playthrough. When I play Italy, it'll be different, but carriers are for force projection. That's like the whole thing, right? And so, damn, oh, America's making some. I wonder why. They need it, right? Land, air, what does that mean for them? Land, air means fucking nothing for America. They can't bring the air anywhere. No one's going to go to America to fight America. They have a fleet that's about to surpass the biggest fleets there are. Damn, Germany is up there with Great Britain. That's crazy. But Italy, who is starting to build some more light cruisers and a bunch of new heavy cruisers. It's all they're really building. Oh, they are building a light carrier, actually. Interesting. But that's going to make sure that I keep more battleships than them. I don't know. For now, we certainly seem to be good. We have 2 months left on the next battleship, and then 4 on the next one after that. Probably order another one this upcoming turn. And we finished the working up. Oh, that's right. You're in active force. Whoops. Internal upheaval in Angola. We could take it over as a... Wait, Angola. Where is Angola? Angola, that's like way down here, right? Can you allow me to see the map? I don't want Angola. No, this is a Mediterranean focused thing. I'm going to say no to that. A naval conference in London agreed to raise displacement limit for light cruisers to 10,000 tons. I assume that's historical. So light cruisers can now become 10,000 tons. Okay, that's interesting. Necessary with how ships are getting bigger. Okay, Angola's... Oh, this is Angola. That's right. Yeah, no, I don't want that. I can't protect that with my fleet. My fleet is entirely Mediterranean focused. Maybe by the end we'll expand from that, but this is for maximum affordability. We have tons of potential enemies here, and they just generally have to come to us. We're about to finish some shit up, so let's go ahead and order our 5th Budapest, the Prinz Eugen. And these guys are coming out with some pretty nice speed, for sure. Our 2nd battleship in this line was commissioned. Yeah, it's taken so long, we're not going to make any more than 5 of this type, certainly. Certainly, this is just going to be a step up from the Erzhog Karl. Woo! We're failing to figure out some things. Naval patrol aircraft prototypes are available again. Faster. This has slightly better range. This has... Whoa! Look at that fucking range. That is way better. So still a little bit faster, too. Firepower the same. Maneuverability up a little bit. Toughness down a little bit. More varying and larger bomb loads overall. That seems like an improvement to me. Not a huge improvement, but another roll on the reliability. So yeah, let's go ahead and take that. Mad Company developed an improved model of their float plane Scout. Of something we most recently developed. It just has bigger bomb loads. I mean, sure, okay. Any slight improvement would be great, I guess. I'll take that. Let's try again to scrap our pre-dreads. Okay, let me do it this time, now that we have 7, and they want us to have 7 at all times of the battleships, of capital ships. That might include carriers, I'm not sure. But scrapping those pre-dreads gave me some money. Our monthly balance is doing pretty well. There's 3 more of these battleships building, and like I said, we're just going to build 5 of them. I hope they'll last a while. These other ones are going to have to last a while. Okay, so I built a thing. This is a heavy cruiser. It goes 34 knots. It's almost as fast as a heavy cruiser can even go right now. The most I could make it go was like 36 knots, but I couldn't make that work. 34 knots, I've checked, is still just about as fast as like the fastest ships designed by any AI have made. Faster than most. This heavy cruiser is 19,900 tons, meaning this is at the limit, right? If I add another 100 tons, it thinks it's a battle cruiser. This is as much as I could push it. And so this is what we have right now. We have the deck at 2 inches, which is fine, because if it's going up against heavy cruisers, the deck can only be penetrated at like these max ranges of like 18,000, right? We have 8 10-inch guns, and now, you know, we're at the point where guns are way more accurate than they used to be. I do kind of wish I could bring more ammo, but still, this setup for these 10-inch guns, 16 4-inch guns, all that have DP value, which is boosted by this AA director, gives it another 7 heavy anti-air factor. The next one only adds 2, and then like 3 after that, and like going to 4 is like way heavier and way less efficient than just adding 1. We have some medium and light AA as well, increased elevation. This ammo is enough. Like, it's not perfect, but it's enough, and 34 knots means this thing's going to be outrunning probably every light cruiser that's been made so far, not to mention every battle cruiser. So the cruiser killing battle cruisers would not be able to keep up with this. This is almost as high as I could make the armor. I could have made it like 9.5, but I just went with 9 instead, because I had to make cuts somewhere to make this work. So I made the cuts, as I usually do, in the weapons and ammo and in the armor itself to achieve a 34 knot speed. Hopefully it comes out like that, right? All or nothing, 2 on the deck, has a pretty decent immunity zone. The reason why I want to make this, and also no seaplanes, we're just going to rely on blimps and land air for that, I figure, so far. The reason why I want to make this is the price. The battle cruisers would come out at, you know, we're talking twice the displacement of this, and they would come out just as expensive as a battleship. And you've seen how few of those we can make. The battle cruisers have been very, very expensive to keep up with. Look at this price right here, 78,866. We're going to save this because I am happy with this design. The Kaiser Karl 6 or whatever the fuck, and I could talk more about some of the decisions I made there. 3 months and like 5,000 to get ready for it. But if I were to design a new battle cruiser, and this is a pretty decent look without me changing very much, this is about that tonnage. We're talking twice the price here for one. And its purpose, you know, it's already at the end of its purpose. The other nations have stopped making them. And so if they're not making battle cruisers, they're not making anything that can kill mine. I've already looked at designing mine, and I can't get a battle cruiser remotely very easily, you know, trying to bring big guns that are big enough to have such a big target survive against, you know, other ships of the same class, and then get this speed above 31 knots. If I can make heavy cruisers with this centerline turret design, 8 guns, and have it split so that this thing can outrun any battle cruisers, then it's good. You know, I can make 2 of these, at least like roughly, for every single battle cruiser I could have made. And it's going to come out generally more efficient. It can definitely, I'm going to have this thing able to beat up, theoretically, any heavy cruiser that's being built and then some. Let's look at Japan's. Let's compare real quick. Because Japan isn't making heavy cruisers that are this fucking heavy. But they are making heavy cruisers. So we got the 8 8-inchers. I have 8 10-inchers. They have 14 6-inchers, and they have 4 3-inchers for that dual purpose. I have 16 6-inchers, all of them dual purpose. That's a lot of AA. I have more medium AA. I don't have quite as much light AA, or I have just about the same amount. My armor is way higher than this. It's faster. The displacement is higher, so it's more expensive because of that. But it's still within its class. I'm pushing the limits on the heavy cruiser class is what I'm doing. And for that, I should definitely be able to pump out 10 of those motherfuckers to get a nice rounded medium cruiser fleet. Now, we're still going to have these battle cruisers that we already made. They're not really going to be as good. They're still using this fucking weird wing turret design. They only have 11-inch guns, and their maintenance is going to be high for what they are. They're only slightly more displacement than the heavy cruisers I built, meaning these are incredibly inefficient. So honestly, I'm probably seeking to get rid of these as soon as possible. Ideally, I might keep them through one more war. We'll see. Tensions are going up, but ideally I want to get at least 10 of those new heavy cruisers built. Let's see how long it takes to build them before I start aiming anything higher than that. And then maybe some new light cruisers, These old ones I'm probably going to keep, but I might relegate them to just trade protection duties to join on that. They're not too expensive to keep for that purpose. Make some new 10,000 ton light cruiser designs, so we kind of have half and half of what the other ones are. So I figured that would work out pretty well to go with my new battleships. I'm maybe like 5, 10, and 10 of those, separate to the light cruisers that I might be keeping for trade purpose defenses, and then maybe just getting rid of battle cruisers altogether, and then we just kind of go from there. I guess it's gonna be more like 10, 10, and 10, right? Because I'm keeping these old battleships. We kind of have to. I'm looking at just tossing some light and medium anti-air. Tossing heavy anti-air on this would be really fucking weird, wouldn't it? I'm pretty sure it would be. 4 inchers with double turrets. Does that kind of drastically can increase the price, but I don't know, it might be capable to fit in there, kind of like heavy cruiser style. It's kind of heavy. Okay, now this is some really weird like amalgamation of a design, but if I could put director firing on these 26-inch batteries here that are secondaries, we leave the 12 inchers generally alone. They can be rebuilt, but that's an insane amount of money. I've already checked. Get rid of 1 fire control position, but increase it to advanced director, give it that increased elevation. Add on 14 new guns, some 4-inch tertiaries that are dual purpose, 1 AA director, same idea as the last time, the rest are just not as efficient. 11 medium, 12 light AA guns, and lower the ammo here by like 5 shots. Replacing the machinery, this does increase the price quite a bit, but it takes this design that I made that is now really just out of date already, and it makes it so something that was designed with like the tech of nearly pre-dreadnoughts can go up against other dreadnoughts. It certainly has the armor too, even if that is going to be falling off. Its speed of 20 knots will be maintained. It's not that great, but it'll work. This is way cheaper. This is like 10% of the cost, less than that, of making new battleships, but we can take these old ones, give them way more capabilities, make them far more survivable against aircraft, and make them last a long time, whereas I was just looking at scrapping them because that's kind of how outdated their design was. I am happy with this. This is about all I can fit on there. There's more topside capacity, but there isn't more weight. I was tempted to try to increase the speed. It's just not worth it with this setup. But I think I will do this. You know, I could get rid of these torpedo tubes, actually. That would help. I think I'll use that to toss that 3rd FC position back on there. We're talking, yeah, now it's like roughly 10%. No, yeah, no, it's roughly 10% what it would cost to make these other battleships. So 10% to take this old design that I was going to throw out and make it far more relevant. Still only 12 inches instead of 16 inches. But with this much armor and everything, we could at least increase this. This is not a lot to pay to increase survivability. This is like the one time I'd be happy with replacing machinery. This whole game up till now, we're almost halfway through to the end of the game from the start date that I picked. So I'm quite happy with that. Comes out with 3 weight remaining. We could probably toss that into another, at least 1 turret there. To me, this seems like a pretty good way of preserving our battleship fleet. I am pretty happy with this, especially for the tonnage. Yeah, when did I first build these? Oh man, these are almost 12 years old already? Or they're roughly 12 years old? From the first one that was made. They were made for years. This design is even older than that. Wow. Oh god. Well, this hull, at least, is 12 years old. That means it's close to the halfway mark of its lifespan anyway, before the maintenance cost goes up. So now I feel even better about replacing machinery. Yeah, let's go to the rebuild dialogue there. We're not going to do one of these. I'd rather, can I do all 5 of them at once? Is that a thing? I can, but it is insanely expensive. 2 of them only are actually out of date right now. So I might stagger this a little bit, but this is essentially what we are going to do. I'm going to do the first 2 right now. Like what's the time? It's a year to do this for every one of them. Okay, we could definitely afford 2 of these right now. You think he'll get mad if I start doing this? No, I don't. I guess he's not getting mad. He doesn't seem like he's getting mad right now. But we're gonna throw those in. Those 2 will be done rebuilding by the time we have these other 2 out, which is good. And I'll start cycling those in there. And then we're also going to end up building this design study. It'll be ready in 3 months. So we're going to make sure our battleship fleet, it's not the best it could be. We don't have the money for that, but it's going to be as good as I can make it. Maybe getting rid of these battle cruisers altogether, but I'd rather have a wave of heavy cruisers in before I do that. Tension with Italy is reducing, which is good, since it seems to be letting me do this just fine, even though a lot of these don't really need their refits just yet. They're still old enough to justify this, because they're kind of getting to that age, you know. Go ahead and throw another one of those battleships on there. We're about to finish one of our new battleships next turn. I've been organizing those, getting those where they need to be. Tensions with Italy went down again, March 1928. Here comes that new battleship. Windfall and tax revenues. Definitely, I'm probably always going to pick the build railroads, long-term prosperity. That does sound like it builds up the base resources. I don't really know if it does, but I will take it and hope that it does. Magazine box protection scheme. Don't know that I'll actually use that. That sounds pretty special. Our money is doing way better after getting that finished. I'll go ahead and order the rebuild of the other ones, and now they'll age pretty similarly. I'm not trying to min-max like the outdatedness or not, because really that kind of refit is fine anyway. I'm trying to just get them all up to this new spec as soon as possible. And so they're going ahead and building up. It'll take them about a year. In 10 to 12 months, we'll have a lot of stuff done, but we'll take 30 months until the Prinz Eugen is done. Unfortunately, it was ordered pretty late. One more month until we could start ordering these new heavy cruisers, which I am pretty excited about, and I have the money to start building them. It is virtually no cost to upgrade these other Baron Eichhoffs to whatever new design this is, but at this point, it's been 8 years since I made that refit. I'm probably just going to wait until the other ones need another refit. These hulls are getting pretty old. They're 20 years old anyway. We could give them all just like one big refit, and then I assume it would let me refit this still, because it still comes from the same hull, so that everything just gets pretty unified, because, you know, that would just be simpler than just replacing it for 2 old ships. Looking at that now, we can actually get the Baron Eichhoffs, who will be due for another refit, probably in a couple months, to have 7 ASW. They started at 4. I got them to 5 with the first refit in 1920. A refit now with some DC throwers and replacing the machinery as well. And it's a very tiny price still. We're talking roughly like 10% of making a new one or something like that. And I can get them refit up to having better ASW. That's their only real value, is ASW. I'd rather make them last than build even more new ones. See these 900 tonners that I already have if I can help it. So I'll go ahead and do that. We'll save and finish. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's right. You need 900 tons to carry that much. Well, I'll just go ahead. I'll reduce the ammo in the guns. Let's say you can go right down there pretty well. We can set this to dual purpose. I can't really get much else in the way of anti-air with this setup, so we'll just go perfectly. Lower the ammo a little bit, set these to dual purpose. 2 DC throwers, so from 4 to 5 to 6. It's still an improvement overall. Oh, but the rebuild cost gets way bigger if we do that, so we probably don't want to do that. Well, in that case, we'll do 2 DC throwers, and I can do either mines or more ammo. I think I'll do mines. I want to practice this idea of putting mines on my ASW Corvettes eventually. I think that sounds like a pretty good idea, while maybe even the minesweepers ? Because as I understand it, minesweeping gear doesn't do too well with ASW, but mines themselves are fine. So again, here you go. This is still a pretty decent way to do it. Go to the rebuild dialog. Wait, what? No rebuild found for Irini. Design a rebuild. Why are we going to rebuild there? I said it for this one. Yep, 1928. So if I just select all of these, and then we do 1928, it only picks the most recent one anyway. And the cost per ship wouldn't be too bad. We got 10 ships though. 2 ships of wrong class, not rebuilt. Did I select something a little bad? I guess these ones don't upgrade like that. Oh, okay. Well, they need to go to the other model first. I did not realize that. Well, we'll just upgrade them through then. That's fine. That's whatever. With that though, we have a nice full turn. We are updating all of our ships that need updating bit by bit. We're about to shift back into heavy cruisers very shortly, getting a 10-ship battleship fleet good to go, which will hopefully be pretty useful against Italy. fleet tonnage is going down while so many things are being rebuilt, but very happy we're in a nice little tunnel leading up to the next war where hopefully we'll just dominate Italy again by ourselves, get some more war reparations. That's my hope anyway. With that though, I hope I'll see you guys on the next one.